Certainly. So I thought, look, I'll start sharing because I've got not too much, but I just thought I'd sort of touch on a few things here. Let me pull it up and we can just go from there. So the first one, I guess, is just the Super GT. Obviously, we had Yan the man on in our last episode.
Yep.
The first race, unfortunately, Yan didn't quite do as well as we all hoped he would. We would have liked to have seen him standing on the podium, but he ended up finishing in 10th place. Because why did he end up in 10th place?
What happened?
Sam, what happened?
Well, it looks like Toyota wanted to make a huge statement with the Supra because it was the first race that the Supra was involved in.
Yeah. So they did what?
Am I correct?
Yeah, 1 to 5, wasn't it? In regards
I think so.
to where it was. And then they also won in the other the 300 class as well as the 500, right?
Yes, they won.
Yeah, they did. They won the 300 as well. Yeah, they swept it.
Yeah, so I think as you alluded to, Sam, was very much a play in regards to how they can go about making as much impact as they could for the first race of the season with the new car to get as much promotion as they could, which obviously makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, you want to get the name out there, you want to get the car out there, and it shows where it sits amongst its contemporaries straight out of the gate. Whether we see them compete and continue to do that, I think will be a different story. So I think it's going to be interesting to see the next round, which I think happens this weekend, right? I think.
Is round 2 this weekend?
I think it might be this weekend. Well, since I've got the pounds, let's see if we can pull up. I was just watching Yan the man this morning on 9 days. So I guess he was already
weekend in August. Yeah.
Yeah, he's already, I think, out there at Fuji getting ready for it this week. So I was just watching on his Instagrams. I like to try and keep up with everything these days.
Yan the man.
Also, I think yesterday, Sam, we talked about obviously Formula E, and I was wrong. They've got their 6-way heading event in Berlin.
Wow.
Coming up in August. So the idea being is that
same track, huh?
Yeah. So it's going to be like
it's like a bubble.
Yeah, so it's going to be like six races in 14 days.
Go to Magic City.
Yeah, look at that. It's in 14 days.
Well, 6 days for the first one.
Yeah.
Taro, and then the last one's 14 days.
That's in 14 days. So they're going
to
be driving almost every day.
Yeah, so it's six races in a week, basically, give or take.
Wow.
So it's good. I mean, talk about like a shortened season.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get this thing done and over.
But you'd hope it'd be interesting. One thing I will say, it's going to be interesting to see how the laps of the cars, if they can improve on the laps from race 1 to race 6 and see how the times go.
Yeah, they're on the same track.
And then, because it's all going to be at the airport track in Berlin, which they've been to, I think, twice before. I could be wrong. But it'll just be interesting to see how it goes and how it fares. Obviously, we've got the main drivers that are there, and it's going to be interesting to be seeing with the other companies that are coming into the mix and seeing where they are. I know that Mercedes are going to be running an all-black livery to match their F1 livery in the Formula E season. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And there's a lot more different of the major teams coming into it now. I think we've got like Audi, Mercedes, Porsche, Jaguar, Nissan, to go to some of the extent of the top 6 of the main manufacturers that are in it, along with all the other electric teams that are also in it. So going through. So it's going to be like a really interesting, if I go through the teams here, to see where we're going to be going. I mean, look, we've got the Andretti, Nissan, Dragon Racing, Jaguar, Porsche, the Neo, Mercedes, Mahindra, Audi, Cheetah, Venturi, Virgin. So it's a really interesting way to see how this season's going to look up. I mean, they've changed a few things now. This is the second season with these cars. So I don't think they've done too much changing with the COVID and so forth. So it'll be interesting to see how it all ends up and where it goes from here.
Can I ask a question? Is this still ESPN? ESPN2 or one of those where they
well, I just watch it on YouTube, Sam, is where I watch it, so that makes it easier for me. Well, but I think it's going to be back on ESPN, I think, as well, again.
That'll be cool. Every day, my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. Obviously, the other one to come in is the WRC. I think the first race is there in the first week of September in Estonia for, again, another shortened season. But it'll be good to see the WRC cars be back again. Miss them. Obviously, the big one's going to be whether Toyota can take it again in regards to who's doing what and so forth. But it's going to be fun to see where it goes. So
But yeah, they have to travel like F1, so that it's a lot more risky.
yeah, so as you see there, you can see that the legs. But interesting enough, finishing up in Japan. So
November, huh?
yeah. So I have a feeling that,
Survival of the fittest. Who can make it to Japan?
well, not only
Yeah.
that, I just think I have a very strong feeling that Toyota would very much like to win the championship, or at least celebrate in Japan. I think that'd be a nice one to send them off, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But as you can see by there, it's a very, very close season again in regards to drivers. And it'll be interesting to see where we end up and how it comes through. But it's going to be, I just really like that we've got such a short period towards the end of the year now where there's so much motor racing going on, or so much racing happening every weekend.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, but then it's going to be over in a blink of an eye.
Yes, but then we've got a really shortened period to have it start back up again, hopefully in 2021, where people can go and attend those events. I mean, I think that's where we're going to go.
Hopefully.
Also, obviously, we've got the Moto GP. We've had 2 rounds in the Moto GP with Cantanaro taking the first 2 wins. So it's interesting. We've obviously got Marquez having his injury in the first race, breaking his arm. Seeing was missed last round, and obviously with all the teams and the results and the calendar being so close together, if we pull that up again, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes and how we go about it. But I mean, obviously, I think for me, MotoGP is the second most exciting motorsport in the world to watch. And this is where I still really get all my enjoyments in regards to how it's coming through.
What is your first? Is it?
We'll that's what I'm going to finish up on, Sam. I don't want to sort of like there.
Sorry.
No, Sam. Look, I don't want to let it out of the hat too early. You've got to let me building up the suspense before we can go. But obviously, we have to touch on the one we always like to talk about, Formula One. I think the big talk is at this point in time, where's Vettel going to go? Is he going to go to Aston Martin? Is that where he's going to go? And that's really the talk of at this point in time before we go to the next Grand Prix this weekend. I think that we're coming through to a series where Lewis is probably going to dominate again over the next couple of races. I definitely can't see him, if we pull up the schedule, I definitely can't see him like going through here and not winning at Great Britain. I mean, this is his home track. He wants to celebrate with the win here. So I think that there's the 2 rounds up in Silverstone. I can't see Lewis not winning here at Silverstone back to back.
Yeah, it's unless something happens to his car or something. Yeah, I mean,
I think he's won like 7 or 8 times now, and people are going to correct me obviously in the comments, but I really think that, I mean, Silverstone is his track.
Yeah.
He wants to win in front of his fans, and so it's just going to be that's the way we're going to see it.
Are they having fans at the racetracks? They're not, right? It's just
no
empty seats, right?
And Hamilton, I think, has made a request for fans definitely not to travel to Silverstone. He knows obviously that there's talk of people wanting to go and try and just be around there, but he said no, please, for the safety of everyone, watch at home, which obviously makes sense. With this whole COVID situation we've got going on in the world and the millions of people it's impacting, we really want to try and do our best to stay on top and try and do to reduce those numbers as best we can. But with that being the case, I want to talk about my favorite sport in the world.
I thought we were.
No. This is Speedway Grand Prix. So this is what I'm going to have you guys watch when we get to see those races, which are happening in Poland and the Czech Republic at the end of this year. So Speedway is definitely, it is my most favorite motorsport. I know Sam with this face that he's pulling right now and giving the game away. I mean, if he didn't have if he had his Steven Seagal sunglasses on,
Poland.
So Poland actually has the largest speedway league on the regular, which is where all the top riders go, and they've been competing there, I think, for the last 3 weeks now. They've opened it back up. Okay. The season was actually basically cancelled, and then they've been able to work this back into it. So it's just great to see that we're going to have a season. Ty Wofferden, who's the rider in the black leathers there, but they're not really leathers anymore. They're based out of Kevlar, is my favorite rider from England. And then Jason Crump there being on the one.
Holy cow, you're an actual fan.
No, a huge fan. This is it. I mean, I watch this on the YouTubes. It is the most exciting, and I will bully you guys into watching it and make you watch it and be talking about this on the regular because it's so exciting. It is a race that lasts about a minute. You got 20 heats in a night, and so much excitement. It's great. It's unbelievable. It is my
if you
favorite
say
thing.
so, James, I'm going to check it out for sure.
So this is where, I mean, so the brief one for people who don't know anything about Speedway. First of all,
count me in.
Yep, that's all right.
Yeah.
The bikes have no brakes. The bikes have no brakes. So they accelerate up to 60 miles an hour as quick as a Formula One car. The track,
Like in 2 seconds.
yeah, so 1.8 seconds or at 60 miles an hour,
Yeah.
no brakes. And essentially, it's taking, this is what drifting is. It's taking flat track, but better. So it's drifting on a shale bank track. It's fantastic. It's the best sport out there in the world. It's so great. I can't speak highly of it.
I can't wait to see how they stop.
Well, you'll see that. Obviously, I'm a little biased because obviously I talk about it highly. I had my idol, Greg Hancock, who's now retired, on the No Braking podcast, and people can check that out. He was my favorite rider. I grew up watching him, and he retired last year. His son now is going to be hopefully going over to Europe sometime soon and competing, but it is the best sport in the world.
Do you have like
Hands
a
down.
financial share in this?
No, I wish I did. In fact, I honestly, Sam, I wish more people watched Speedway to make it more, to get its word out there. Because this is the
I
most.
am going to watch it, and if I like it, I'm going to tell my friends about it so we can line your pockets, James. I know.
If only I
got
could
a
line
stake
it.
in this.
But so that's basically my roundup for the week in regards to
That was
motorsports.
awesome, actually. Great job.
No, we'll try and keep it succinct because I didn't have a car this week, so we'll try and hit on all the key points.
Well, I think we went through a lot. We're almost at 2 hours, so thank you for all you guys watching us on Facebook. I don't know how many of you went through the whole distance, but if any of you did, much appreciated.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Anyways, we'll be back in a couple weeks.
Shout out to all our friends here that left some comments. Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll be back in a couple weeks, God willing, and we will have another guest. And until then, I hope everyone stays safe. James, any parting remarks?
No, but I think coming in September, the podcast, the No Braking podcast, will be coming back up. I think we're going to keep it similar to this, where it's going to be sort of so a dial-in podcast. So the quality might not be as great as some of the previous episodes, but I think that I've had a demand and had lots and lots of requests from people to get the show back up and running. And with us no end in sight of this COVID, I think it's time I have to sort of bite the bullet and get back into it.
Oh, I'm sure you would. If anyone could pull it off, you can, James. It'll be wonderful.
No, I appreciate that, Sam. Thank you. So yes, they look for that starting in September is the hope.
All right, that's great. Good
Carl?
news. Great news. Oh, yeah, just check out GT Channel again. We're at gtchannel.com, renewed site, and check out our new video on Kazama. It's a really good one. And
Sounds
thanks
good.
to everybody for watching. Please
All right,
like and
Jay,
subscribe.
Podspeed to all you guys. See you in a couple weeks. Bye.
See you next time, guys. Bye-bye.